Hey everyone, Max here, talking to you from Jamaica. We're in Sandals South Coast, and this is our 5th trip out here. And I thought I'd make a video, since we've been here 5 different times now to different Sandals, on the top things that we've learned. So if you're thinking of doing a trip to Sandals for the first time, or maybe you're going to go a second time, and you learned some lessons the first time, this is the stuff that we've learned that's really helped us. So here we go. Alright, the first thing to know is that not all Sandals resorts are created equal. Everyone has kind of its own vibe, its own feel. If you are really wanting to get your party on, there's different resorts that are super party focused. One that comes to mind is Sandals Montego Bay. There's going to be a disproportionate number of really young people who are partying, who are dancing. There's a lot of loud booming music at night, pretty much every night. A lot of drunk people. If that's your thing, you want to go to bars, you want to dance, you want to get drunk, you want to have a crazy time, Montego Bay and resorts like that are what you're looking for. Whereas if you're a bit older, or you just have a chaotic life and job, and your idea of a vacation is just sitting at the beach, chilling, relaxing, maybe meeting a couple for dinner at a bar and just having a nice quiet chat along the ocean side, something chill, something relaxed, there's resorts for that. The resort that my wife and I really like for that kind of a chill environment is Sandals Royal Caribbean, but there's plenty of others actually out here at Sandals South Coast. Same kind of a vibe. It's a little bit more of a relaxed vibe. There's a bigger mix of young people, middle-aged people, older people. You'll kind of get all of it, but everybody's kind of like, it's more of a relaxed environment. One of the things that my wife and I like to do, if you want a mix of both, is you could stay either at Royal Caribbean in Jamaica or Sandals Montego Bay. Those resorts are literally like 5 minutes apart from a shuttle, which is a free shuttle anytime you want to go during the day. You can shuttle between the two, so you get best of both worlds. We like to stay at a mellow resort like the Royal Caribbean at night, and then if we're in the mood to get our party on, we could just shuttle over to Montego Bay, have a blast. Then when we're tired, back to Royal Caribbean, chill. It's quiet. It's ideal. So that's just one idea for you. Anyway, do your research. Go out on Yelp or go out on any of the other sites. Research the type of vibe that the resort is that you're looking at, and make sure that it matches what your expectations are. That'll help you have a really good time. All right, tip number 2. This is going to sound stupid, but it's really important. If you've never flown international before, which we hadn't before we came to Jamaica and Sandals, while you're on the plane inbound for the landing strip, they're going to hand you a piece of paper and ask you to fill out all of this information about your passport and your name and how much stuff you have with you, if you have anything to declare, if you're carrying drugs or narcotics. Of course, you always check the boxes, and yeah, I'm carrying narcotics. No, but anyway, you need a pen. If you don't have a pen on you, you're going to have to beg your neighbors or maybe the flight attendants. We actually got in a situation where the flight attendants didn't have a pen. We didn't have a pen. I had to go up and down the aisles asking people if they had a pen I could borrow. Thankfully, we found somebody. But it sure helps to have your own pen on the plane. So just put that in your pocket or your carry-on and be ready. So, you're welcome. Okay, number 3, and this is a big one. When you arrive at Sandals, wherever your destination is, say you're arriving here in Jamaica, your flight's probably going to land, and you're going to maybe show up to the resort, depending on the flight you get, pretty early in the morning. You know, you could be showing up at 9, 10, 11 o'clock a.m. You show up to the resort, and your room isn't ready until like 3. If you are wearing, say you come from a cold place, we come from Washington State where it's raining and cold most of the year. So when we showed up to Sandals for the first time, we were wearing our coats and our long pants, closed-toed shoes. We show up at like 11 in the morning, and they're like, well, your room's not ready until 3. So we sat there, because they took our luggage away. We sat there sweating bullets for hours while everybody around us is walking around in shorts, t-shirts, and sandals. And we were dying. We couldn't wait to get to our room to change. Here's the tip. Put some shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops in your carry-on on the plane, because the first thing that happens when you show up to Sandals is they're going to whisk your luggage away, and you're not going to see that again until you get your room in a few hours. So be ready to just go into the restroom or wherever, change into those comfortable beach clothes, and be ready to go. You're not going to sweat. You're going to be really comfortable, and you're going to be able to chill at the resort. That's another thing we didn't know. You don't have to just sit in the lobby and wait for hours for your room to be ready. You can immediately begin going out and having fun while you're waiting for your room. So that's why you need to have your clothes ready to go, have your, I guess you can't really bring your sunscreen in your carry-on, but do your best to stay in the shade for a few hours. But enjoy the resort and be ready to go. So big tip right there, and let's move on. All right, tip number 4. Bring one pair of really nice clothes. I know most guys are just like, I don't want to put on pants, I'm on vacation, I can't tell you how many guys I've run into in the bars here who are just whining and complaining because they didn't bring pants, they don't want to wear pants, blah, blah, blah. There are restaurants, especially the nicer ones, that require reservations and require men to have long pants, button-down shirts, closed-toed shoes. So either bring one pair of nice clothes or prepare not to go to those restaurants. And you're probably going to deal with an upset partner if they want to go to the nice restaurant and you're not ready and you're not dressed for it. So one pair only, that's all I do. The rooms usually have irons in them so you can iron your stuff when you get there ready to go. I know you're in the tropics or in the beautiful beach area, you don't want to have to put nice clothes on, but if you want those nice restaurants, you're gonna have to take one for the team and bring one good pair of clothes. All right. Oh, also bring a pair of all white clothes. They have white nights. Every resort, one night a week has what they call white nights, where you literally wear head to toe white. I just get long white cotton pants and a long white like cotton shirt. It's really kind of beach wear, Tommy Bahama kind of thing, whatever. It's really cool to have the white clothing ready to go. Both men and women should have that. And if you want to attend the white nights, it looks really cool and everybody's dressed in white too. So there you go. All right, tip number 5. You should pack bug spray. The gift shop will have bug spray and it's going to be marked up like crazy. So you're going to pay through the nose. So bring bug spray. There are a lot of the resorts, they do a good job of keeping the beaches groomed and nice, but there are still like sand fleas and mosquitoes and things like that. Some resorts have a bigger problem with bugs than others, we have found. We were at one resort where the sand fleas were ferocious. If you went anywhere on the sand, especially at night, they'd jump on your legs and start biting you. My wife was really allergic to them, and she had these welts on her leg like this that swole up, and she had the hardest time sleeping because every time she'd roll over, they would itch and they would hurt. So spray yourself down before you go out onto the beach with your own bug spray that you bring. I usually bring 1 or 2 cans. I know it adds weight to your bag, but it's totally worth it unless you want to pay some crazy amount of money, like $20 a bottle or whatever at the resort. So bring bug spray, be ready for that. All right, tip number 6, just like with the bug spray, bring sunscreen and aloe vera. You probably will get a sunburn if you're staying out in the sun any amount of time. Aloe vera is good for that. This prevents that, but I'll tell you, there are times when I'll put on sunscreen in the morning, I'll go out and snorkel or go dive, the water will kind of wash it off and then I forget about it and I get burned. So just kind of be ready for the burn and try to prevent as much as you can. I'll bring 2 bottles of like 30 SPF, my wife likes 50. But again, you're going to be able to find at least the suntan lotion or sunscreen in the gift shops, and they're going to make you pay $1 million for it. So just bring your own, get it cheap, get it in bulk, and have it ready to go in your bag when you arrive, at least in your luggage. You're not going to be able to check that on, but in your luggage. All right, tip number 7, chafing is a thing. You are going to be spending all day in and out of the water in a swimsuit and going in and out of beach water, which is sandy, salt water. If you have thighs that rub together even a little bit, and you don't even have to be very heavy, you're gonna chafe between your legs, man, all day long in and out of the water with sand and the salt water. Body Glide is your friend. Bring some of this stuff. It looks like deodorant, right? You just kind of like rub this on like you would deodorant, but you put it in between like your legs where they would rub together. This is gonna save you so much pain. If you've never been on a vacation where you've like chafed your legs, you don't even want to put the swimsuit or any pants back on, and then you got like days left to go out and walk. You're in hell, right? Bring this, it's gonna be your best friend, it's gonna save you. I went one trip without it, and then somebody recommended it, and I have never been without it on a beach trip since. So bring the Body Glide. There's other products out there that are like Anti-Chafe, but they all kind of operate on the same principle. They basically make it really slick between your legs or under your arms or whatever, so that it doesn't cause that friction. It causes a big rash and all kinds of pain. So bring some. All right, tip number 8. Bring a waterproof camera. You're gonna be in and out of the ocean and the swimming pools all day long. You're gonna wanna take pictures, right? You could always bring your cell phone and try to keep it dry, and they make these little waterproof pouches, but then you're kind of taking pictures through this watery plastic. It's not gonna look awesome. So get like, Olympus makes a great waterproof line of cameras. And they're also shockproof. You can drop them on concrete from I think several feet in the air, which I've done by accident several times now. I think the GoPros make the waterproof heroes now that you could they don't even need the case. You could just take it straight into the water. But these are going to be great. Compact, it's small. You can take it with you everywhere you go all day long. You can just hang off your wrist and worry-free, man. And along similar lines, I bring a waterproof watch. So I could just kind of go in and out of the water and not have to worry about bringing my phone anywhere. I see so many people, here I go on my rant, but I see so many people out here in the Caribbean in these beautiful destinations, and they're sitting on their phone at the beach. And they're sitting at their phone at dinner and at lunch, and they're not looking at all of the beauty that's out here. They're just on their phone all day. So I leave my phone in the room and pretty much just have a watch on me and bring my waterproof camera to document stuff, and that's it. So that's just me. Anyway, back to the original point. Bring a waterproof camera, you won't regret it, you're gonna love it, and on to the next tip. All right, tip number 9. Bring 2 swimsuits. I've been guilty of bringing way too many swimsuits, and really you just need 2. And what I do is I use one swimsuit one day, and then at the end of the day, outside of your room, there's gonna be a little towel rack that just kind of hangs on whatever porch you have. Hang the swimsuit out to dry that night, and wear your next swimsuit the next day. And repeat that pattern. By the time you wake up, your other swimsuit will be pretty close to dry. So it's hot, right? So things dry pretty quick. You really only need to bring 2. All right, tip number 10, you are gonna need some cash. I know it's all inclusive, but when you get to the airport, there are gonna be people taking you to your coach that are gonna handle your bags that you should probably tip. They are not Sandals employees. There are going to be vendors at the resort that are not Sandals employees, but Sandals allows them to be on property and sell things, beaded necklaces, jewelry, wood, art, crafts, things like that. They will only accept cash, so have some cash for that. They also sell clothing and things like that. There are butlers. If you get a room with a butler, or you happen to do anything that involves a butler, you're going to be able to tip your butler, even though they're Sandals employees. They're the only employees of Sandals that will accept tips. So be ready for that if you do anything with a butler. And lastly, if you go off-resort with any of the off-resort activities, you're going to be dealing with non-Sandals employees there as well. So you're going to need to be ready to do tips or even purchase food off of the resort. So it's just good to have a few $100 in cash. Your room does have a safe, so you can keep the cash in there along with your credit cards and whatever else. So it's just a good idea to have some cash on hand. I like to do that before, so I don't have to deal with the exchange offices or anything like that. I just kind of bring cash with me from the get-go, which I get in the States. All right, tip number 11. If you plan to go snorkeling, and I highly recommend you do, consider bringing your own snorkel gear, and here's why I say that. When you show up at the snorkel place, most of the resorts do have the option of going snorkeling, which is part of the inclusive thing. They've got music. Oh, good. Most resorts do have snorkeling as part of the included package, but it's kind of a coin toss about whether the fins are going to fit your feet that they have, if they even have fins in your size, or if the mask is going to feel comfortable on your face. Plus, there's the thing of using other gear that other people have been using all day long, every day, for days and days and days. You might be weird about that. It doesn't bother me too much. But I do like having my own mask, which I know fits my face perfectly, feels comfortable. My own fins, which don't give me blisters, which fit my feet perfectly. Yeah, it's kind of a lot to pack into your suitcase, but I always just make it part of what I pack, and I consider it as part of the weight that's going to be, part of my 50-pound limit. So anyway, I love it, and we originally came out here and snorkeled one time. We thought we'd only do it once, and we got addicted to it. Now we do it at least once a day, sometimes twice or even 3 times, and then we're getting into scuba and everything else too. But snorkeling is so awesome, and if you're out here in the Caribbean, there are so many beautiful fish and coral and animals to see. You really should take advantage of doing it, even if you have phobia around it. This is the best place to come and just try your hand at it and see the nature, the beauty of the nature that is out here in the ocean. It's gorgeous in the Caribbean. So, all right. Tip number 12: you're going to want to make dinner reservations the first day you get there. This is going to save you a lot of headache. There are at least one, if not multiple restaurants on each property that require reservations. Usually you can't make reservations the day of, they book up. They're even typically, depending on the restaurant, booked out for a few days. So what you're gonna wanna do is find out which restaurants take reservations, make those reservations for the whole week of whenever you're gonna be there. And then cancel as needed. And don't be a jerk and cancel an hour before the reservation. But what we do is we'll just like alternate different reservations with nice restaurants every night. Initially, on the first day we get there, we'll book them. And then a day or two ahead of time, we'll say, you know what, we're thinking of changing plans on this night, and then we'll just call and cancel the reservation for the next day or whatever. That gives them plenty of time. But really, it's going to save you a headache if you book those reservations immediately. Once you get on property, then you don't have to think about it. Oh, I wanted to go to that place, but I don't have reservations, and now we have to leave in 2 days, and we're never going to get there. So make those reservations early. All right, tip number 13, and this one comes from my wife because it's a big one for her. Anytime you get to a new Sandals property, they will have a daily property tour and orientation that you can attend, and it's optional. When you first arrive, they're going to give you a very quick cursory overview of things, but it's really not going to be inclusive of everything that's available at the resort. So usually they'll have 1 to 2 of these a day at any given property. Sign up for it, show up, and they will walk you around the property and talk to you about all of the different restaurants, when they're open, all of the different things there is to do. It's actually really, really good to get that information on the very first or second day that you're there. Or you could just explore everything, but we have found if you do it without the tour, there are things that you're gonna miss, and there are things that you may not find out about until like the last day, and you're like, I wish I had known about this ahead of time, and we would have been doing this all week long, right? So get the tour. It's actually really informative, and it's a lot of fun. Usually you're doing it in the rain, so bring an umbrella. They'll have fun for you. It rains on and off throughout the day in Jamaica and most of the Caribbean, so you just gotta get used to that. Anyway, so yeah, get the tour. It's actually really helpful. All right, tip number 14. They, on every resort, I think for the most part, they have these little cabanas that you can rent for the day, usually from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you've never done the butler rooms, and the butler rooms are really expensive, but a lot of people swear by the butler experience. We have never actually sprung for the whole butler. We usually go with the club level concierge package. But the cabana comes with a butler, so you'll get to experience for 8 hours essentially what it's like to have a butler bringing you your food and making sure that whatever drinks you want are brought to you in the cabana, and it kind of gives you a taste of what that's like and if you're going to like it or if you're not. So if you have hesitations about spending the money on a butler, or you would feel weird about it, like, oh, I don't want somebody that's like waiting on me hand and foot all the time, I feel guilty, blah, blah, blah. Some people do. The cabana experience for the day would be your opportunity to kind of dip your toe in that water. I think here at South Coast right now, it's like $140 to rent a cabana, and it's totally worth it, I thought. My wife loved it. It was her favorite day that we spent here. So I'd highly recommend that. Some other people have said that they'll save money by not getting a butler room, but then they'll get the cabana several days. And then you get that butler experience for several days, and you're saving money. So that's another option for you. So anyway, cabana rental, highly recommended, super fun. Most of them have curtains that you can fully close off if you want some privacy, or you can open them up and just enjoy the ocean and talking to your neighbors or people walking by on the beach or whatever. So yeah, it's super fun. All right, tip number 15, and this is my final tip. Every Sandals is going to have this room, which is the returning guest room. And really what this is, it's a double-edged sword, I'll tell you. The returning guest program is probably the best way to go and get reservations for the next time, pre-reservations for the next time you want to visit, and you can get some screaming good deals. They have this 777 program, which like 7 different rooms open up for 7 days, and you can get a massive discount on that, and then the rooms change every week which ones are available, and so you'll get that discount. And then if you pre-book with the folks at the returning guests, they'll give you like 10 to 12% off of that. So you can make some just amazing deals if you go into the returning guest area and talk to those folks and pre-book your next trip. That's really the best way to save money on a Sandals trip. here's the double-edged sword part of it. They are high pressure sales, man. They really are. You get in there, it's almost reminiscent of timeshares, man. Like if you've ever sat through a timeshare presentation where they high pressure sale you, it's so bad. But they'll stand outside that booth and talk to you, like, and they'll call you on your phone in your room, like every couple days. Have you come to the returning guest yet? Oh, when are you booking your next trip? So it is kind of high pressure, but that aside, you can make some great deals. You can really save a lot of money if you plan to return to Sandals. And you have to put down, I think it's like a $250 deposit on your trip, or just pay for it all then. But you can do the $250 deposit, and then I think if you cancel the trip, you can move it out by several months, in some cases even by years if you need to postpone. I'm the kind of guy who likes to pay all cash for everything up front. I don't like owing anybody money, so it's particularly difficult for me to do that, but that's just me. I just thought I'd let you know that that is available to you, and if you do plan to take another trip to Sandals, the returning guest program, in the little booth where they have everybody there, it's actually worth your time to go in there and make your reservations now while you're at Sandals before your next trip. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoy your Sandals trip when you go. Totally worth it. Obviously, we love it because we've gone 5 times, and I'm sure we're going to go in the future, God willing, you know, if finances hold out for us and things like that. But we sure have loved it. We love the people that work for Sandals. We particularly love Jamaica and the Jamaican people. Amazing culture out here. And anyway, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.